big financial crisis, two things happen. One is either it ends up in a war, like it happened after Great Depression, Second World War happened, or the world turns nationalistic, right-wing, conservative. He was a product of circumstances. Historically in the U.S., after economic crisis, there's a very high growth. But growth in the U.S. was muted in the last 8 years. It was less than 2%. Before that, there was always over 3% growth, on the average over a period of time, over 3% growth. So that was, with that muted growth, lots of people did not get a job, and these working class Americans, white working class Americans, were very unhappy with the state of affairs. Somewhere along the lines, he met these white working class Americans, and he talked to them, and he understood these people, and he realized there are many of those, tons of those people, okay, which Democratic Party had abandoned them, Republican Party didn't know them. And he was the guy, in the beginning he was talking about the birther issue and so on and so forth. And as he met these people, he was a New Yorker, grew up in New Yorker and Palm Beach, Florida guy. He didn't know about this Rust Belt. He never spent any time over there, but he found those people. And he directed his campaign message towards these people. And in 18 months, he became their champion. There is something more scarce and rarer than the ability. And that is to have ability to recognize ability. Okay. Now, take a look at his cabinet picks, even his Supreme Court judge. Those are wonderful picks. Actually, most of them, I believe they are, and I was thinking, a lot of other people were thinking that he'll pick people like Newt Gingrich, this New York guy, Giuliani, Chris Christie, because no, he picked very different people, okay? He does, and in business you have to do that. To have a successful business, you have to put a chief executive has to put together a great team, and that's what he's doing. So he has that ability to recognize ability. It was during his campaign, he did talk about that, okay? Because he basically talked about some of the Indian IT companies were misusing H-1B, okay? And there were incidents, and some of these are being looked into, getting investigated. Now it's been going on for a couple of years. So he talked about that, but you see that this H-1B, it'll take another year. And I think after, during election time, it has always become an issue, okay? American jobs and so on and so forth. And I've seen it over the last 4 elections, okay, 4 or 5 elections. So it'll take about another year or so. And they might make it part of a bigger bill, and the bigger problem is illegal aliens. Indian IT industry has done wonderfully well. They are sitting on billions of dollars of cash on their balance sheet. They have market value of $70-80 billion. TCS has that. Now, companies like that should not be dependent on getting some visas to a country, okay? They need to, this might be an opportunity for them to transform. And actually, these type of things forces you to transform. So I think it will be good they can get into SaaS, software as a service, create platforms and provide, and it's the hottest thing anyways, okay? And that's what we try to do with when I talked about in iGate, we created some platforms, and we provided services, okay? So it can be done at a much larger scale. So I think these companies are run by very smart people, and they will take a look at this as an opportunity to transform their companies. And actually, this company should be transformed.